Welcome back to the Coach Cameron Soccer Podcast Experience. This is episode 526. Deal with it. So much to talk about today as I sit here in my beautiful podcast room. It's not beautiful. This is all fake behind me. It's a green screen. And it's to make this seem like, oh, look at this freaking arms. Like you can see through my hands. Look, I got my Monster drink, and you can't see it because it's green. But it's good. Anyways, FIFA urges mutual respect in response to Trump tweet on U.S. soccer because we must respond to everything Trump says, because if we don't, we're not woke. FIFA, the soccer world's governing body, responded to President Trump's tweet rebuking U.S. soccer for repealing its ban on players protesting during the national anthem. Really? FIFA, holier than thou, FIFA. They're the most corrupt organization on earth. Do we not forget the amount of secret dealings they have with taking in money to manipulate votes for where the World Cup will be hosted? Qatar? Are you kidding me? Qatar. We're going to place it in a place that makes zero sense, where because of FIFA's mishandling of the votes, because of paid manipulation of, they're so corrupt. It's disgusting. So they're erecting it in Qatar. We're going to have it in Qatar, and we're going to kill thousands of people to work in unsafe places to erect all these stadiums that has air conditioning. Will we go? No, we will not go. Will it be horrible for FIFA? Yeah, because it's going to look horrible. They better hope the economy fixes itself real quick. They better hope for that, because this whole Qatar World Cup is ridiculous. I just can't stand FIFA. FIFA strongly advocates for tolerance, mutual respect, and common sense when such important matters are debated. What about important matters of where the World Cup will be held? Huh? FIFA said in a statement to the Associated Press, FIFA has a zero-tolerance approach to incidences of all forms of discrimination in football. As outlined in the FIFA statutes, we must all say no to racism and no to violence. Violence. Let's talk about violence. FIFA is nothing but violent. They're a bunch of violent thugs that are allowing not only discrimination happen all over the place, but they're allowing people to be murdered at Qatar. Can we not forget about that? People are falling hundreds of feet from the sky because they have no standards whatsoever how to build a stadium. They just do it. Work 20-hour shifts. Do it. He fell. Get another one. We went back 100, 200 years on building things, like building the pyramids or whatever. This is so archaic of what we're doing. Beautiful. It's going to be beautiful stadiums on the sacrifice of a lot of peasants. We'll call them peasants. The FIFA peasants. They're out there just to do what they're told, so they can make sure this World Cup happens, and people are going to die by the thousands. But Trump tweeted something, and we're going to jump on that to make us look good. Whatever. Go to hell, FIFA. On to other news. Whatever. That was depressing. I can't stand FIFA. NBA star Kevin Durant takes 5% stake in Philadelphia Union soccer team. Kevin Durant is now a sports team owner. We kind of already knew this, but now it's getting more details, with the Brooklyn Nets star finalized a 5% ownership stake in the Philadelphia Union of Major League Soccer, with an option to purchase an additional 5%, which would give him a total of 10% of what's going on. He says, "I'm excited to partner with the Philadelphia Union for years to come," Durant said in a statement. "My team and I are connected instantly with the Union coaching staff and leadership, as well as the team's story. As part of the agreement, Durant and his business partner, Rich Kleiman, will work with the Union through their company called 35 Ventures on marketing." So, yeah, cool. Big fan of Kevin Durant. I'm real big fan of his. He amazes me. He can actually move that weird looking body. His body doesn't look right. He's tall, lengthy, just kind of looks like a body meant to be injured all the time. And the fact that he could survive the majority of his career making the money he's making with that body, your body's not supposed to be that size and that. He doesn't look right, but he moves like I don't get it. He is absolutely a freak of nature. I mean, Shaq made sense. Shaq was proportioned right. Now that Kevin Durant's just long and tall, it just doesn't look like someone that is meant to move like that. So yeah, he's fascinating. He could imagine him being a soccer goalie. Freak. Be the best in the world ever. Should have played soccer. It's a smart business move. On other news, we have U.S. soccer is causing problems. They have a projected loss of $28 million deficit in 2020. So we should give the women's national team more money. That's why, because they're losing money. So they should give out more money because they have it to lose it. The U.S. Soccer Federation is projecting a deficit of nearly $28 million for the 2020 fiscal year, $16.8 million more than they planned, the organization announced on Saturday's meeting board of directors. USSF CFO Pinky Reina. What? Who's Pinky Reina? Is she related to the other Reina? No, different last names, but I thought it was initially. Was among the Federation executives to make presentations at the meeting. She stated that the result from the fiscal year, which closed on March 31st, are preliminary and not fully audited, but the numbers still present a grim future for the picture of the USSF, especially since they do not include the full impact of coronavirus pandemic. The USSF had already budgeted $11.1 million shortfall from their 2020 fiscal year, but the numbers that Reina reported states that the deficit that period will be $27.9 million. The revenues of the 2020 coming in was $129.2 million, about $2.6 million below what was budgeted. The bigger impact was in the expenses, which came in at $157 million, which was $14.1 million more than what was budgeted. So they have a budget. They do have surplus of funds in different areas, but they have a budget. And then you wonder why U.S. soccer is so hesitant about paying the women more, and because they have to take away from other things. And maybe they can. Maybe they don't have to travel as much. Maybe they have to be a little smarter about what they're doing with how they spend money, because they probably overspend. Because they have a lot of things when you don't have money, you actually earned on your own. You're just given by the people that join soccer, and we just give you money. Like my kids give money to U.S. soccer. When you don't earn it, you just take. It doesn't feel like it's yours. It's not like having your money and when you go to QT and you're like, I probably should stop buying these energy drinks. Speaking of energy drinks, I'm going to have one right now. Excuse me. Yeah, I was thinking, I got to pay my bills and stuff like that, but it's my money and I want to save for what I have. But when you deal with governing organizations or the government, when you just give them money, that's why I'm so confused on people wanting to give people money. Like, not give people, I mean give, but to give the government, to give to big organizations, just give them money and just hope they do the right thing. They're not. The ones that want us to pay more taxes because they want the government to have more money, it makes no sense to me. There's no logic behind it. Why do you want to be taxed? It doesn't make sense at all. Why do you want to have more tax? There's plenty of taxes. Not to get political, but it makes no sense. If you're one of the crazies that want the government to be bigger, why do you want to be bigger if your opposite cohort, I mean, if you're a Democrat and you want the government to be bigger and the Republicans seize control, you just gave them all the power and money. Why would you do that? Why would you want to give the party you hate or disagree with more? Give them less. You don't want them to have control of your life. Give U.S. soccer less. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense anyway. That's how I kind of think. Well, I think this way tomorrow. I don't know. I am a conundrum as well, trying to figure out what's going on with this. I don't know. I know that I don't know that I do know. The USSF has attempted to mitigate their financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic in recent months, which has halted programming for all of its national teams. The USSF announced in April that it was laying off and furloughing off 50 staff. The U.S. is also shuttering 7 youth national teams for the rest of the year. That would never happen in another country. People would be in uproar. How dare you take soccer away? Don't take soccer away. Don't take our national teams away. Let them compete. Let them play. Play. Compete. Represent your country. But we're gonna take them out. Let's reduce our president's pay, and let's stop having luncheons and all that, and stop having U.S. Soccer pay for everything. Cut all that off. Cut something else out. I don't know what they spend their money on, but they probably have other options, but they're just going to furlough and lay off and stop playing soccer. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Oh, this is my favorite story. So Placer Youth Soccer Club violates health orders, holds indoor trainings. Oh, my word. They held training indoors. Imagine, or images taken outside the Placer United Soccer Club showed youth soccer players gathering for training sessions are raising concerns among some people. I got to pause this. All right, I'm on pause. I'm at home doing this, and I have kids going nuts. And they're loud. And it is what it is. Just banging going on. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just driving me insane. Anyway, so there's people probably from other clubs and stuff taking pictures. They're holding inside training. And look at that picture behind me. They're not social distancing. Placer United confirmed that they had been holding team trainings at their indoor facility last week, which violates state health orders and league guidelines. All right, so the state orders and anything from the CDC or the World Health Organization or from some crazy liberal that wants you to do what you're told to do, they're conflicted about what to do. They don't even know what to do. No one knows what to do. Images taken outside the training facility on Sunday show more than half a dozen, that's 6, youth players standing in a tight group without apparent social distancing. It was made clear to all of us, John Summercamp said, no organized soccer event outside of our own family. Summercamp is a coach at another local club, and he cited health concerns related to the unsanctioned indoor practices, which the CDC lists as higher risk. And I like that about other soccer clubs. They're spying on you, and if you're doing it differently, I'm gonna call you out, and I'm gonna cite CDC rules, and I'm gonna stake out and take pictures of you doing the wrong thing, and I'm gonna get you in trouble, because then those players and families will come to me and play in my club and pay my organization so I can make money off youth soccer too. And and you can notice with all these girls that are all close together, they're a bunch of rich white girls, and they want that rich white money so they can function in their club. They don't care about soccer. All they care about stuff in their bank accounts on putting together a fake program of we do it this way. We do the number system. We're all about our licensing, and we do it right way. We follow the CDC guidelines. We care about your health. No, they don't. They lie. The team was holding training at the time when the new COVID-19 cases in Placer County are on the rise, including at least 20 kids and teens from at least 12 households over the past month, according to the Placer County Health Department. You have no means to guarantee that any of these kids are not sick, won't get sick. You're going to scatter those kids back into the community, Summercamp pointed out, noting concern that the elderly or immune-compromised family members, you like how they always do that? I got to fight on Facebook with, and I don't want to get a fight on Facebook, but they send you, they post on Facebook about mask. It's like, the reason you wear a mask is, according to this picture I found on the internet, and it says if you wear a mask and someone else doesn't, you have a 19, I don't know, I'm throwing out numbers right, 19% chance of getting the virus. But if you wear a mask and your other friend wears a mask and you're still 6 feet apart, you have a 1% chance of getting it. But if, whatever, it goes through all these things, the why everyone should wear a mask. And it's confusing because you're told to wear a mask, not wear a mask. Just heard last week, 2 weeks ago, World Health Organization, don't wear a mask unless you're working with COVID patients. And then we hear from someone else, and like, don't worry. There's just so much conflicting information because there's so much conflicting information, and no one's getting the right information, especially those that only listen to one thing. If you only watch CNN or you only watch Fox News, if you truly don't do your research, you have no thoughts. You're controlled by the media you watch. Watch all media. Watch YouTubers that have their own station that aren't being paid by whomever, that actually try to report good information according to what they have. You need to do more than what you're doing, because if you actually looked at everything, you'd be just as confused as I am. I look at everything. I watch CNN. I watch Fox News. I watch YouTube nut jobs. I watch as much as I can, and it's conflicting. Nothing makes sense. I mean, here's the thing. If you are, I love the default of a lot of people. They're like, yeah, you're not concerned about the elderly. Okay. You know, there's people concerned about the elderly. You have governors. The governor of New York murdered a lot of elderly. Murdered. Because he was so busy doing his daily conferences, trying to look political. He's at 80% approval rating, and he thinks he's doing a great job, but he's not paying attention to really what matters. He didn't pay attention to Italy, where all the elderly and people died in the masses in Italy. He didn't pay attention. He even knew that he was given health guidelines saying, keep the elderly in the don't keep them in the hospitals, keep them in their homes, which killed them. Killed thousands of elderly versus get them out of there. Some governors did that. Some did not. Florida did. New York did not. Florida actually looked at the research and paid attention and looked at countries that, that had it before us, and how and followed the simple things of what to do and what to avoid mistakes. How come New York didn't watch what Italy went through and didn't avoid repeating? They repeated it. Okay, whatever. Here's the thing. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. I voted Democrat. I voted Republican. I voted Libertarian. I've never voted for a president that's won. Ever. I have my own thoughts, and I will not be steered by the Republicans or the Democrats. I won't be steered by people on Facebook. It's not going to happen. And a lot of people think like I do. They're fed up. They're flipping fed up. To use the default of you don't care about the elderly or anything like that. You are a talking point for someone else. You are a tool with no thought process. Tool. It's frustrating. People are using the word segment, using quotes from their media, how they should talk. It's pathetic. Have your own thought. No more chance of one channel. Have a thought. Can you have a coherent thought on your own and really look at things? You can't. If you watch one organization, you can't have thought. You don't have a thought. You're pathetic. Think a little bit. Everyone can't be right. And if you think you're so right, you're willing to post on Facebook some freaking JPEG of some cartoon of this is common sense. Shut up. There's no common sense in this world right now. Anyways, I went a little nuts there, didn't I? I just should move on. Can U.S. soccer, MLS tackle travel soccer conundrum? Charles Bohem says, competitive youth sports has become a big business, very big. In recent years, this has grown into a multi-billion-dollar industry, with soccer at the forefront. Current estimates of the economy range from $20 to $40 billion per year. This is why the pay-to-play, this is me speaking now, this is why the pay-to-play system will never go away, ever. And that's why it's spreading to basketball. Baseball has been this way. It's spreading to all the sports. Follow the money. Follow the money. Money corrupts all. That's why I'd rather be broke. United States alone, and one projection forecast, it will swell to nearly $80 billion by the time the World Cup returns in 2026. Wow, I need to get involved in that. Most American soccer families are all too familiar with the trappings of this world. The tryouts, the pressure, the huge time commitment, the word cloud of adjectives that go along with this: travel, select, elite, premier, and most of all, the cost. Oh, the cost. Yes, the costs are ridiculous. We have a real problem. We've had it for years, and I think we're slowly trying to address it as far as what we're dealing with and what we can deal with. Pay to play will never go away. Here's my thoughts on this. Pay to play will never go away. Let it be. It's okay to pay to be part of something. If you can afford a big house and you buy a big house, more power to you. I would. I was running down in by the Squaw Peak Mountain in these beautiful homes. Oh my word. In between two mountains, they got the sun just not. In Arizona, it's a big deal. They have sun coverage from, the only time they have the sun is between hours of probably 11 to like 2, and the mountains are covering everything else. It's so beautiful, and it's green. I saw this place. I was running. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'm like, I need to make money. I need to make money on this podcast somehow by selling 50,000 T-shirts and mugs, and wouldn't be enough money to buy these houses, but if I could afford it, I'd move there, and no problem with that. So if you choose a soccer club to play for because you want to pay for it because they travel and all that stuff, awesome, more power to you. Do it. Do it. I think it's a worthy cause to make money and buy things that you want for your children, but it's not going to solve our soccer problem in the United States. It's never going to be solved if we don't have players in this country playing on the streets, loving the game in a different way, and develop that, and get coaches to develop that talent by managing it versus coaching it. You don't need to coach the people of culture. We do have culture in this country, ton of it. They play. The problem is they hit a ceiling about when they get in high school. They're not allowed to play anymore. Because they're repeatedly told you're not sophisticated enough because you don't have a licensed coach telling you how to play the game. Don't have it. So, they quit. So that's a problem. But what's a bigger problem is this whole thing with MLS and this COVID-19 and the part of their development. They're saying you have to travel all these places and play specific people versus let's get back to normal. Since COVID-19 destroyed us all, let's do it this way. Let's get back to the old days. One state champion playing your leagues, whatever, must play each other. Everyone has a play in state cup if you're willing to compete that way. And one state champion goes to regionals. And then one regional champion from your region will play in one of 4 regions. And you have one national title. That is it. That's the safest way for us to travel, especially the economy is still being destroyed. It is a problem. This issue gets to the heart of why USYS and the MLS have joined forces, announcing earlier this month a partnership that seeks to address player identification, development, coaching education, and a range of other issues on the grassroots level. With 55 state associations and some 3 million registered players and hundreds of thousands of volunteer coaches and administrators, the USYS is the largest organization in North America and most likely the world as well, and others unmatched reach coast to coast. And we can't figure it out. We brag about this and we can't figure it out. And we could. It's not. I'll give you an example. My 2002 girls, I was coaching my daughter's team. And it's part of the Arizona Storm. And ACFC. And my daughter's team, we had maybe 7-8 players, and I told the parent, they're like concerned, I'm about to go on vacation to Seattle, and where I go every year for like 3 weeks in the summer, right before we start our official season August 1st. We did our tryouts. I actually cut a family. I cut a family because they were a pain in the butt. Just I was like, what tournaments can we do? When, you know, and they're just annoying. Anyways, we became friendly later. Anyways, long story short, I cut one. They're like, hey, you keep cutting players. I'm like, you want the right ones. I think we only had 8 or 9 at the time, but we're only playing, I think, 8 on 8. So we had one sub. I'm like, don't worry. I got approval from the board. We're going to go to the Hispanic leagues, and we're going to get 4 or 5 players. We're going to be fine. And this is a girls' team, by the way. And I come back home from vacation, and they all left to Banat, Arsenal. And they all took off over there, which was one of the best things ever to happen. And it was just my daughter and the manager's daughter. So it was just us two. So we went to the Hispanic league, and my manager, assistant coach of mine spoke Spanish. And we went to all the boys' league, or a boys' league, and went to all the boys' teams that had girls playing on it. And we grabbed 7 girls that played, and they were amazing. And then one thing about the Hispanic leagues out here in Arizona, so the rules are you can have girls on your team, and they can be a year older. So, you know, we were a U10 team at the time, so we were at the U11 boys games. We're at the U9 boys games because they were 10-year-olds on there. Anyways, long story short, picked them up, put the team together, and they were Hispanics. Oh my gosh, they're just amazing. I mean, there was this one girl, her name was Anai, and she would meg kids on purpose at 10. Did you hear what I just said? She would put the ball through players' legs on purpose because she grew up in the culture. She understood it, and it was amazing. She's a tiny thing too. Anyways, so we created that team, and then because we were a new team, because we didn't have enough players initially, they put us in the lowest league, the way AYSA does things back in the day. The lowest league ever, and so we're in like flight 8 or whatever. We're just murdering people. And I'm against, you know, running up the score, but I want to stick it to the state as well. So we ran it up, and then the state only moves us up a couple of flights because the way the rules they had. I'm like, that's so stupid. They said promotion relegation earlier, so we're not making poor girls quit soccer for life with the talent I had on the field. Anyways, we finally, by the 3rd season, we got to play that team where all the girls left, and it was hilarious. So we showed up, and they had, you know, a really good coach. And they're organized. They had a warm-up. They had the cones set up everywhere. Me and the manager were there early, and we didn't have anyone to warm up with. And finally, you know, a carload of our girls came, 2 carloads, and the rest of our team finally showed up. And we actually played short after the kickoff. And they knew how important this game was to me, and, you know, but it's just, it was typical Hispanic. They're going to be late, and, you know, they have a lot of stuff going on, and they're just a soccer game to them. It wasn't important like it was to us because we had different agenda. We're down 1-0, and, you know, the other side erupted. Look, we made the right decision, and we were just sitting there waiting, and then we finally got enough players to play, and we ended up winning 11-1. It was fantastic. Culture won, not coaching. Culture won. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah, that's what we should do. We need to recruit the cultured kids. Actually, love the game, play the game, live the game. Take all of them and create national teams from there, and then we'd be much better. Okay, so we had a teammates honor youth player killed in Mexico with an emotional tribute. So a lot of you guys probably already saw this on YouTube. Teammates and friends honored a youth soccer player killed by police in Mexico with an emotional tribute on Thursday that celebrated his love for the game. Alexander Martinez, 16, was shot in southern Mexico on Tuesday by police when he was on his way back from buying soft drinks from a gathering to celebrate his friend's birthday. Before his funeral on Thursday, Martinez's wooden coffin was placed on the ground, angled in front of the goal frame. On the soccer pitch, a teammate kicked the ball against it, and the ball rebounded in the goal and applause. You guys, and the video went viral. So we're going to take a look at it. I saw the video. I'm like, a little goofy the way they celebrated or whatever. They didn't know how to celebrate. Their friend died. But I'm going to show you a different video. This has been going on for a while. So this video is from a year ago. Let's see if I can get this up. Yeah. So this is a year ago. This is not the video you saw. This is a different one. So they have their whole team in formation, even a referee. So that was a tribute, which I thought was pretty cool. Got fireworks. So that seems devastating. That was certainly sad. Yeah, so that's it's been going on for a while, and that's the difference of culture. They love the game so much. It's always around the game. We have that in this country, but we don't choose it because we do have a problem with the pay to play. It limits the culture that plays the game, because the ones that truly love the game, and so it typically comes from poor segments of the country. So it comes from poor communities. You know, you only need a ball to play. Doesn't have to be nicest field and stuff, but there is a culture to the game that we don't bring out in America. We don't celebrate it. We do at Phoenix College. We definitely do that. So this is episode 526. If you're offended by my podcast, I apologize. But if you're not and you like this podcast, please share this episode. Share it. Share it to the world. Or if you can't do that because you're embarrassed to be affiliated with me, you can buy a cup. You can buy a shirt, socks. You can buy things at CoachCameron.com. And yes, it's very expensive, but it's showing you you care about me. Or you can send me a a message on CoachCameronPodcast@gmail.com, and I may use you in my podcast. If I do that, I give gifts. Peace.